Hello everybody, Marc Janssen here. I managed to do a second one of these. It's the second week of Advent. Many churches lit a second Advent candle. The second Advent candle is sometimes called the peace candle. And so the theme this week is peace, which has a number of different kind of connotations to it. But for me, it's less about, at least in terms of Advent, it could be about peace in kind of like a national sense, but I think it's more of a personal peace. And for that, I found a poem by William Stafford that I think addresses it quite nicely. It's called Just Thinking by William Stafford, and I'm going to have a link to this poem in the description. Just Thinking by William Stafford. Got up in a cool morning, leaned out a window. No cloud, no wind. Air that flowers held for a while. Some dove somewhere. Been on probation most of my life, and the rest of my life been condemned. So these moments count for a lot. Peace, you know. Let the bucket of memory down the well. Bring it up. Cool, cool minutes. No one stirring. No plans. Just being there. That is what the whole thing is about. Yeah, William Stafford. I wanted to say three things about this poem, specifically. The first is, it's very condensed. It's a condensed poem, and it has very short sentences. Several of them 3 words long. Some dove somewhere. Just being there. That kind of thing. Very short. It reminds me a little bit of like in the style of Ernest Hemingway, with that kind of brevity in there. Several of these sentences are enjambed, meaning that if you look at the poem, the sentence goes from one line, starts on one line, and it ends on the next. So like the line, leaned out a window, air that flowers held for a while. Air that flowers held on the second line for a while, ends the sentence on the third line. So there's some enjambment there. But those periods, in my opinion, those periods aren't there to separate sentences, noun, verb, object, sentences. They're there to slow down the reader. That's what we're really doing there. It's a poem about taking a moment in time. And the structure of the poem itself is one to, especially if you're reading it vocally, is one that would direct people to take more time to read it. Second thing, last line. Putting on my critical theory hat for a moment. This poem is in 4 stanzas, 3 line stanzas. And then the 4th line is 1 line, the last line, which reads, "This is what the whole thing is about." So this, because this is by itself, more emphasis. We're emphasizing that this is what the whole thing is about. So what is it? Quiet moments bring peace. That's kind of what he's saying. And that we can appreciate those quiet moments in our memory, like drawing cool water from a well, cool water from a well, and that peace then can come back to us again. That's my interpretation, at least. And so that last line is emphasizing that. I think for people to kind of consider. This is the last thing I want to say about it, which is this is something that that's happened in my life. This moment being remembered. In the summer of 2008, we went on vacation and visited my uncle and my aunt. He lived at a house that he built in Maple Valley, Washington. A beautiful log cabin with a really nice deck in the back. My wife and my kids went with my uncle to see a horse that he had stabled. We wanted to go visit the horse, feed it, and do all that horse stuff. And I stayed at the house and sat on the deck with a glass of water. I was there, I don't know, maybe an hour or two. They were gone. The deck overlooked kind of a large grass kind of lawn that went down a hill. At the bottom of the hill were these large trees. I don't know what kind they were, but they had leaves on them. Kind of dark leaves on the top, a dark color on the top, and then dark green on the top, and then light green on the bottom. And it was the afternoon. It was warm. There was a breeze. There's a lot of times there's a breeze that comes in. Maple Valley is, not directly on Puget Sound, but it's close enough. And you get this kind of like a east-west breeze. And the leaves would shake back and forth. Light green, dark green, light green, dark green, light green, dark green, like that. And I sat there on the deck, just kind of like enjoying this moment. Glass of water, comfortable chair, light green, dark green. And I just felt good. I felt good in that moment, which was important. A couple months later, we started to slide into the Great Recession. The first thing that you do when you slide into recession is you get rid of your sales and marketing staff. And so I was without work. I managed to land another job, but it only lasted for a couple months before they downsized. And then I was out of work for about a year. Very stressful, not having work, applying for jobs every day, doing my best, but it just makes you feel bad. It makes you feel bad when you're looking for work and can't find it. On occasion, I'd think back to sitting on that deck, or it would just come to me, sitting on that deck, those leaves there, was just gave me an amount of peace in those moments. It's important. Anyway, we'll see you again next time, whenever that might be. Happy Advent, I guess, everybody.